Happy Mother's Day to myself, to all the mommies, kahit lola, kasi mommy din kayo, di ba? And you are looking very pretty just like them. You know, this is a very good example of a mother. Kasi and not just any mother, a mother who is looking up to God. A mother who is seeking God. Kasi I have been trying to take care of this kind of plant and it's very difficult and konti-konti ko pala na-learn how to really take care of this. And I was at the plant shop yesterday getting this. And I was asking him, how come it's difficult and this is what I've done? Two things he's really telling me. This kind of plant wants the sun a lot and water a lot. And still, if you think about it spiritually, sun equates the sun, S-O-N. Without the sun, there's no life. There's no life. And without water, no matter how much we seek the Father, we seek the Son, without the Holy Spirit, it's dead. It's dead. So, nakakatuwa. This is really perfect. So, I want to greet you Happy Mother's Day po. Next please. I have been trying to seek the Lord these past few days about the perfect message for today. I had one prepared, continuation po ng Shema Prophet. But then I was looking at it and like, oh Lord, parang wala. There has to be something else. And I found this devotion in the internet. And although it was talking about extraordinary women or mothers in the Bible, sabi ko, parang may kulang pa rin, Lord. So I was actually, you know what guys, it's easy to get a message from the internet. Very easy. Very easy. And then you're just going to check kung tama sila biblically. But then there's more important thing than just downloading a message. Revelation. That's what I had such a hard time until yesterday. Would you believe the message is for today, but up to afternoon yesterday, I was crying kasi sabi ko, Lord, I don't want to stand up there just to deliver something from the internet. I want something that came from your heart. Lord, it was already afternoon. And kumpleto na yung PowerPoint and all. But I said, Lord, where's the kick? Where's the revelation? I stopped first. I told Pastor, I'm not sure if I can minister today. And then, he encouraged me. And then, towards the afternoon, I can't study because Joey was awake. So I decided, I'll go to Mama's house. Pagpunta ko sa house ng mami ko, I saw the caretaker of the house. Kasi dalawang house yon. The main owner of the house lives on the house na vacant. So I saw the pastor of the owner. Christian sila. I'm not close with him. But for some reason, I stayed where he was. I was supposed to visit Mamu. Nakita pa ako ng kuya ko. And then I just stayed where he was. He's cutting the trees, trimming the bushes. Pastor, how are you? He already answered. And I asked again, Pastor, how are you? And then we talked about God. And one thing led to another until I started crying to him. Basta napunta yung topic namin na naging masyadong, first it was just about God, different churches, until I don't know why it came to me. He was not directing the messages to me, but I'm pretty sure he noticed that my eyes became flooded with tears. And nagsasabi ako sa kanya na, my goodness, I'm so thankful na umalis ako ng bahay. And I went here. I just needed fresh air. Or I just wanted to visit Mamu. And then I saw this pastor. And then I was really blessed. And then he asked in the end, I said, Pastor, pray for me because tomorrow I will share the word. Wow, what's the story about? So I shared to him na this is the story. And he even gave me points to add. More than that, I have encountered Jesus yesterday. And I'm so blessed because, you know, God won't just use people who are inside the church. I've always talked to Pastor. He has always helped me. And God didn't want me to limit him, that he will only talk to Pastor, he will only talk to my quiet time. There was this other pastor that he used yesterday. And I feel so blessed because he was such a very good encouragement to me. And I'd like to pass on the encouragement to you. Today, although the message is encircled on women, not just the mothers, women in the Bible, I'd like to also encourage everybody. Kasi syempre, although kung lalaki ka, you're not a woman, you have a mother, you have a sister, you have a lola, right? And today, I'd like to share what I have gathered. Not primarily because it was downloaded from the internet. I discovered something before I shared to you this. Before I was able to read everything, natuwa ako because God downloaded something first to me. Before I saw na, somebody already saw this. So in other words, may na-reveal ang Lord sa akin about it. And I'd like to share and I hope you will also be encouraged by it. Okay, so today we will talk about women in the Bible. Next po, if you think about it, ang dami nila. Ang dami nila. I'll give you a few ideas. Diba si Sarah, sorry na lang sa picture, si Sarah, she bore Abraham a son in their old age. Diba? And there's also Hagar, yung slave, yung servant ni Sarah. She's also extraordinary because she is the maid servant to Sarah and she also bore a son to Abraham as decided by Sarah. Ganun dati, pag slave ka, wala ka talagang say. There's also Rebecca, okay? Rebecca is the mom of Esau and Jacob. If you remember, supposed to be, si Abraham, ibe-bless niya yung unang anak, di ba? Pero na-overhear ni Rebecca, okay? Not just because favored niya si Esau. Esau? Okay, I'll tell you something. I found out this yesterday. When she was still pregnant, di ba may twins? Okay? Sabi ng Lord sa kanya, bakit nafe-feel niya may nag-aaway sa loob? Then the Lord said, because the twins you're carrying are two nations. Okay? And then in the end, sinabi pa doon that the younger will serve the older. You know what happened? Bakit sinabi Rebecca risked deception to follow God's plan? When God told her na yung nations na dalawang dyan, the younger will serve the older, Abraham was about to bless the older. Pero si Rebecca wanted the plan of God to be fulfilled. So, although pangit pakinggan, na-deceive niya para ma-bless yung pangalawa. Okay? So, that's extraordinary. And then also, Leah and Rachel. These are the mothers. Do you remember this? Nag-share sila ng asawa. Okay? So, parang hello, hindi ko kaya carry yun, di ba? And then, Samson's mother. Okay? She's the mother who followed the rules. Actually, she's barren. But when God told her, I'll give you a child, there were conditions. Okay? So, she followed all those conditions and all those rules that the Lord gave. And next, please. The other extraordinary women or mothers that I saw, si Naomi, she was the mother-in-law who shared her faith. Diba? Yung daughter-in-law niya, ay wala na yung anak niya namatay, pinantayan siya ng pinantayan. And next, there's Hannah, the mother who kept her promise. Si Hannah, barren din yan. But she cried out to God. When God granted her prayer to have a child, ang promise niya kasi, I will dedicate this child to you. And she kept her promise. Nung naipanganak niya, pinadedicate niya yung bata sa Panginoon. And also there's Elizabeth, the mother who believed in miracles. Another na may edad na, nagkaanak pa din. Yan, she believed in miracles. And of course, who can forget the mother of Jesus, which is Mary? The mother is blessed among women. At a very young age, early teens, mabuntis ka ba naman, tapos hindi lalaking tao ang nakabuntis sa'yo, it was the Holy Spirit. Wow! Now, there's this a couple of women in the Bible, in the life of Moses. I'm sure you're pretty familiar with the life of Moses, lalo ng mga bata siya. And, I found it very outstanding na yung mga women na to, they were not really discussed in the Bible, lengthy. No. Some of them don't even have names or not mention names. But still, I found it very outstanding or extraordinary that these women were used by God. Next po. Yan. So today, we're going to talk about Exodus 2, 2 to 10. Okay? This is about the birth of Moses. Next, please. I will read this to you. Okay? And yung Exodus 2, 2 to 10. NKJV po tayo. Exodus 2. And a man of the house of Levi went and took as wife a daughter of Levi. So the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw that he was a beautiful child, he hid him 3 months. But when she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for him, daubed it with asphalt and pitch, put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the river's bank. And his sister stood afar off to know what would be done to him. Then the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent the maid to get it. And when she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby wept. Next. So she had compassion on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for you?" And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." So the maiden went and called the child's mother. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and became her son. So she called his name Moses, saying, "Because I drew him out of the water." Alam niyo itong story na to? Yung kay Moses, alam niyo na to? Okay. So this is the details nung pinanganak siya hanggang sa siya ay napunta dun sa Pharaoh's daughter. Ang haba Pharaoh's daughter, I'll just say princess. Okay? Next po. So I'm going to, can you put that back? Put that back. Just put your attention na lang on me. I want to share this to you. There were points seen in the scripture. And medyo ugali ko, when I'm reading the scripture, I pause for every word or maybe a statement kasi mayroong binibigay ng Lord sa akin. Meron ako nakita doon, the very first nung sinabi na there's a man of the house of Levi went and took a wife and a daughter of Levi. Sabi ko, ano ba to? Bakit parang puro Levi? And you know what? Inaral ko, I found out yung mami ni Moses married, alam niyo kung sino? Pamangkin niya. Yung mami niya is Joshebed. Okay? Ang naging asawa niya is kanyang nephew. How did that happen? Si lalaki, the daddy, hindi lang niya asawa yon, tita pa niya. Okay? Is that illegal at that time? No. Before the law, hindi questionable yon. Okay? And so, I also saw the portion when I looked at the part na sabi, so the woman conceived and bore a son. Bakit naging issue masyado that time kung ang naging baby mo is lalaki? Because you know what, if you go back to Exodus 1, nagkaroon ng edict doon ang Pharaoh. Do you remember nung panahon ng Pharaoh Joseph? He loved the Hebrews. Although he is the Pharaoh of Egypt, he allowed the Hebrews to come, to live inside Egypt, right? But then here's the thing, okay? Nung nagkaroon ng new Pharaoh, he didn't care much what Joseph thought or did for the Hebrews. He was intimidated. Because as the Pharaoh of Egypt, he had this thinking, my gosh, ang dami na, there's too many Hebrews already. And you know what? Let's say, for example, they're not strong enough. Let's say the physical body of an Egyptian is much stronger. But if there's more than you, he was threatened. So he made an edict, sabi niya, let all the baby boys be killed. So nung sinabi dito na the mother conceived and bore at nanganak ng lalaki, it was a big issue. Why? Sabi niya kill all the baby boys. Okay? And also, I realized something. In Exodus 1, si Pharaoh inutusan, he summoned the midwives. he summoned two midwives. Their name is Shifra and Puwa. Naputol yung ano ko. Okay. Ay, the names of the two midwives, he called are Shifra and Puwa. Hebrews sila. Ang midwives, yung nagpapaanak, diba? Sa mami. Sila yung midwife ng mga Hebrews. He called the two. Sabi niya, every time a Hebrew woman is going to give birth, kill it. Now here's the thing. Shifra and Puwa are women who fear God. Kasi who's the God of the Hebrews? Diba? The God of Abraham. They fear the God, their God. So they did not kill the babies. So sabi ng Pharaoh, I have told you to kill. Why didn't you? They said something. Kasi the Hebrew mommies are not like the Egyptian mommies. Before the midwives come, nanganak na sila. So yun ang pinalabas nila. And then, here's what happened. Sabi nung, look at the edict. Ano lang pinapapatay? Boys. Why? The Pharaoh can only think that only boys can be used. That only boys are strong enough. The Pharaoh didn't think that Hebrew daughters, diba, he was only after Hebrew sons. He did not think that Hebrew daughters or Hebrew women could be a threat, unlike the Hebrew sons. Okay? He had this strong mindset. See? So, isa yun sa mga nakita ko, pinakita ng Lord. And also, there's this part when I read earlier, di ba sabi, and when she saw that he was a beautiful child, maybe the first time, or how many times that we read this, ang thinking natin na, si Moses beautiful. Siguro healthy, mistizo, or cute, mataba, ganon. But no, I looked at the word beautiful. Ano ba, Lord, ang meaning ng beautiful? You know what? Make it a habit of yours that when you're studying, try to look for the original meaning of the words. You can look for the Hebrew meaning or the Greek meaning. My goodness, it's very deep. Hinanap ko yung meaning ng beautiful. I saw two. Yung isa is called Oraios, isa Omorphos. Okay? If you are pertaining to the word beautiful na Oraios, look at this. Ang isip natin beautiful is outward, diba? Maganda. Look at this. Pag sinabing Oraios, it means in time or in season. Who would think that? Na may connection yung time and season sa beauty? But look, the way that the word beautiful was used in this scripture, it meant in time or in season, or the right appropriate time for something. Moses was in time for something. Isn't it that these Hebrew children, Hebrews pala, everybody, were enslaved inside Egypt? So he was born for a purpose. He was in time. Perfect. People might even say, hindi in time yan eh. The Pharaoh gave an edict to kill all the baby boys. How can that be in time? Because it was for a purpose to deliver the Hebrews. See that? Now, the other word, beautiful, is yung Omorphos. I don't think that is the one used for that. Kasi it has only something to do with physical appearance. Okay? Now, look at this. I will give you a cross-reference. Kung sabi dito, and when she, yung mommy ni Moses, so that he was a beautiful child. Look at this. In Acts 7:20, next please. Yan. It was also talk about Moses. Sa Acts tayo ha. At that time, Moses was born, and he was a beautiful child in the sight of God. If you go back to Exodus, wala kang makita na si God finding Moses a beautiful child. Diba? It was the mommy. But here, bakit yun? For 3 months, he was nurtured in his father's house. In other words, if you're going to use again the word, the word beautiful as in Oraios, palitan natin. Acts 7:20, at that time Moses was born, and he was in time or in season with something in the sight of God. It was God's plan why he was born. Why primarily, na-conceive siya, then he was born. It was God's plan. For 3 months, he was nurtured in his father's house. Okay? Again, sa 7:20, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung the other term na beautiful kasi it has something to do with beauty on outward. Okay? I praise God for that. If you're reading it plainly as a story, you wouldn't think that God was already orchestrating something from the conception and the birth. Okay? Now, look at this part. She hid him 3 months, but she could no longer hide him. Okay? Meron akong 1-year-old. Si Sister Che, may ilang months? 8. Si David, 1 and 9. Si Karin, okay, bago. Hindi pa malayo sa amin how 0 month to a 3-month-old baby is. Okay? Bakit ganon? Up to 3 months lang nila na-hide. Tapos sabi dito, they could no longer. Some aspects of taking care of newborn infants are manageable compared to infants age 3 months up. So, obviously, yung mga first 3 months, manageable pa. Okay? And also, in the 3 months, the family had ample time to plan how to save Moses from being killed. You know what? Mother ka or not, brother lang na or sister, di ba? You have this love for a baby. Di ba? Siguro, I believe majority will have a special love for a baby. Whether you are connected or related or not. So this family, kasi sabi, they found the child beautiful. Hindi nila ma-bear na mapapatay lang to. Just like that. So they had 3 months to plan what to do. To plan, how can we save this little child from being killed? Okay? This is the start of the orchestration of saving Moses' life. This is when it happened. And I'll show you some more. Now, next please. Now, there was the word ark. We are familiar with the word ark in the story Noah's Ark. And for us, an ark is big. Diba? And for us, an ark is ganun, wooden. Here, in the Bible, you will see ark being used in Noah's Ark, tsaka ark of bulrushes for Moses. In Greek, since I don't know, I just say the original word for ark is teba. It means a box or a chest. Now, dito, sa ark ni Noah's Ark, they were very specific. How it will be built, what size, what material. Although in the ark of bulrushes, they did not say anything about the shape, at saka even the size, hindi na mention how specific. But one thing is for sure, yung purpose ng ark dito at the ark doon, it is a floating craft to sail. Diba? Usually, a craft is for transportation only. Pero dito, the main purpose of the ark sa Noah's Ark, tsaka dito sa story Moses, to save. Okay? How wonderful. And now, di ba nga, yung mommy, she made an ark of bulrushes, nilagay si Moses, and then, she made it float in the river. What did the sister do? Meron siyang kapatid at this time. Although here in this scripture, no name. But in other scriptures, alam naman natin na si Moses had a sister. Only one. Kaya ito na yun for sure si Miriam. Ngayon ganito, si Miriam, while the baby was floating in the river, pina-follow niya from a distance. Siguro kung dito yung water, ganun-ganun siya sa land. Okay? I love this. I love how these women are used. Surely, okay, alam natin this is Miriam kasi sa Exodus 15:20, doon na-mention na Miriam ang name ng sister. Now, it did not say in this story if the purpose was to abandon, di ba? Do you remember what I read? Was there a reason kung bakit si Mami nilagay si Moses there? There was no reason. Although it was not mentioned, but there were thoughts in my head that led me to wonder if there was a plan to give Moses to the Pharaoh's daughter. Okay? May mga naglaro sa isip ko while I read the part na, and the sister stood afar off to know what would be done of him. Nag-ask na ako, Lord, I'm smelling something fishy here. Parang sa unang read mo ng story, akala mo lang nagkataon ganun na nangyari. But I'm seeing something. I asked God, was there a plan to give Moses to the Pharaoh's daughter? Please turn to the text. Ay, ayan na pala. Okay? So I asked myself already, was there a plan? You know why I asked that? Here's the very first reason. The fact that the sisters stood afar off watching to know what would be of Moses. You know why? Kasi sabi ko, then most likely, malamang, alam nila yung direction of the water at that time. Diba? Look, the river, there's only one way it goes, downstream. If you put a baby here, leave the baby in this water, if it is downstream, only it will go that way. It will never go that way. They know the direction of the water. Okay? And also, they knew it will head towards the Pharaoh's daughter. Let's say ganito, eto ang example, if this is the place where Moses was dropped in the water, and I know, eto na yung Pharaoh's house, why would I do that? Why would I do that? So they knew it will head towards that direction, to the Pharaoh's daughter. Also, here, I was studying, and how many scriptures I saw that the Pharaoh and their family actually, they really go to the river to bathe at a certain time. If I'm the mom named Jochebed, if I don't want that baby to go into the hands of the Pharaoh's family, why will I drop it there in the water, knowing it will go to that direction, knowing it will go at that time, di ba? So, sabi ko, wait, Jochebed was already doing their plan. The plan that they had in 3 months. Okay? So, if you look A and B, Exodus 2 says, then the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside, and when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it. Okay? So, yung first two na yun, makikita mo talaga na, okay, so, yung first two na yun, saan ko pala nakuha? Sa Exodus 2:5. Okay? And then here, this last one, you cannot see. It says, Ellicott's and Pulpit's commentary. When I read the Bible lately, hinahanap ko pati yung mga footnotes and the commentaries of Bible scholars. Okay? It says in Ellicott's and Pulpit's commentary na ang Egyptians may rituals when they take a bath. Okay? So there's a certain time they take a bath in the Nile. What else? The Pharaoh's daughter, yung princess, di ba babae siya? Siyempre, she wants privacy. She picks a certain area only for women. And talagang mahahalata mo, the mom knows it will go to that direction where the princess takes a bath. Okay? There. Okay, now, saan ko nakita na talagang may oras na naliligo or there's a really time that they take a bath? Exodus 7:15. There is an instruction. Sabi, go to Pharaoh in the morning as he is going out to the water. The Pharaoh really goes out every morning into the water. And station yourself to meet him on the bank of the Nile, and you shall take in your hand the staff that was turned into a serpent. Ito yung time na may pagagawa na si Lord kay Moses, kasi ayaw ibigay. But what am I trying to direct back? May oras talaga. There's your time. One more. Exodus 8:20. Now the Lord said to Moses, rise early in the morning and present yourself before Pharaoh as he comes out to the water. Look at this. This was written in the Bible. If I'm Jochebed at that time, I know that the Pharaoh and his family takes a bath in the morning there in the river. Why would I put Moses there? There's a plan. It was planned. Okay? And then, next po. So again, I keep asking, Lord, I want some more want some more clues. Give me more clues. If there was really a plan to give Moses to the Pharaoh's daughter. I saw the Pharaoh's daughter is probably known to be good and kind. For them to risk Moses going to her direction. Look at this. They intended Moses to go to that direction, to the princess. But she's an Egyptian. They want the Hebrews killed. So most likely, the princess has a reputation that she is kind and good. Right? If I know that she's going to kill my kid, I won't allow my kid to be in her hands. See? So, how can you risk if, diba? And to think, ito pa, the maid servants, the slaves, were most likely Hebrews. Diba at that time, mga slaves sila? So most likely, the yayas at that time of the princess were Hebrews. And Jochebed might have sought them regarding the princess and her kind heart. And maybe even the plan. At this time, I will drop off my baby. When you are going to take a bath, be watchful because you will for sure see a basket, an ark of bulrushes on Chaba. You know, the pastor I spoke to yesterday, I'm not sure because I'm trying to find the scripture for this. He said, Jochebed the mom is related to the servant. Well, maybe because he's a Hebrew. I don't know how direct yung relasyon nila. Okay? Now, sa Exodus 2, and when she opened it, we're talking about the princess. She saw the child, and behold, the baby wept. Tingnan nyo to, para masabi, for you to say that the princess is good and kind. She had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrew children. One more thing. Paano niya nasabi that this is a Hebrew child? Okay. It didn't say there if the baby is bearing something from the Hebrews. This is what we have in mind. Who would let go of a baby that is not endangered? Who will try to let go of a baby na hindi naman endangered? So she said, this is probably one of the Hebrew children trying to save that baby. Okay po? Next. Okay. And furthermore, I still ask, Lord, was there a plan to give Moses to the princess? Okay, tama yan. It is also seen that Miriam, yung sister, was brave enough to approach the Pharaoh's daughter. Guys, look. Master nila ang Egyptians. Remember, before, you have no right to just approach your master unless you are someone. How can Miriam, just an early teenager, a Hebrew, approach the princess, just like that? Nilapitan niya and said, do you want me to look for a Hebrew woman to nurse that baby? She was suggesting something. Number one, to approach a master. That's already scary. Okay? So may idea sila, the princess is good and kind. And, next po, there. Another thing that led me to ask if there's a plan to give Moses to the Pharaoh's daughter is number 4. This strikes me a lot. Do you remember the scripture I read? Did it look like that Jochebed, the mommy, was surprised that her daughter called her to nurse Moses? It was so plain that she, after the Miriam suggested to get a nanny or a Hebrew nurse for Moses, quickly she looked for the mommy. Another thing, tingnan nyo. Quickly, so Jochebed was also from a distance. They were really enacting their plan. They were already waiting for what's going to happen. And they're ready. See that? It's so wonderful. So, most likely, they knew that the Pharaoh's daughter will really adopt and love Moses. Okay, next one. Okay. Can you put back this side? Okay, stop there. Now, let's go back to the scripture. There's a line saying, so the woman, sorry na ha, pasensya na sa baby. So the woman took the child and nursed him. So here comes, okay. So the woman took the child and nursed him. The woman here is the mother itself. Okay? So siguro kayo parang, sarap. May balik yung anak ko sa iyo. Without being caught. Diba? Tapos buhay yung anak ko. Now, the princess was indeed very kind. Nakita niyo naman eh, she had compassion. It seems she had no hatred for the Hebrews. For her to even agree to have Hebrew woman. Ito, yan. Number one, she said, this must be Hebrew baby. Siguro kung siya, the same thinking as the Pharaoh, have this baby killed. But no. Number two, look, she's not even insecure. She wants to keep this baby for herself, di ba? And she agrees to call a Hebrew mother to nurse the baby. Eh, we all know, pag ang baby nag-breastfeed na, that's bonding. The baby, diba? So, the princess was not insecure at all. For her, let's give that baby the best. Breast milk. Diba? Ang ganda talaga. Okay. Now, I want to show you something. Although hindi na to connected dito, I want to share something. Look, si Moses na ibalik sa mami niya to be raised even just for a while. At least the early important stage. You know what? Lately, I have been seeing studies, reading and watching studies on the effects of ano ang effect sa isang baby or bata if it's not the birth mother who took care of them. Okay? I'm pretty sure you've heard of the term Jezebel spirit. And according to studies, hindi sila basta-basta naging Jezebel. People, male or female, don't just get Jezebel spirit just like that. There is a root, there is a history. Okay? And history such as what? They were not taken care of by their birth mother. They were abused as a child by, sige, kahit birth mother or not. Tapos, no good father figure. Pangit ang naging adult relationship nila. Okay? Why? Yung mga ganon, what happens to them? They become insecure. They become angry. They are broken. And here's the thing. If this anger, brokenness, insecurity are not healed, they become built up. A person has a natural tendency to self-heal. Without knowing God, ang tendency ng isang tao is to self-heal. Now, tingnan nyo to. Many people today, they're just after that children are given what? Milk, food, clothing, water. Pwede na yun. Because when they grow up, it will be obvious that they lack something spiritually or emotionally. Anyway, lumaki naman eh. But that's what is more important actually. When all are important. When the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual are wounded and not healed, that child has a tendency to self-heal. How? Will look for other means to fill in the gap. What do I say gap? Ito yung tao. Okay? Hindi siya naalagaan ng sariling birth mother or na-abuse. Yung mga nasabi ko, there's going to be a hole. There's going to be insecurity, pain, anger for those who are abused. Magkaka-pride pa yung iba. If that is not healed, they will look for something to heal it. If they don't know God, they will look for other relationships, sex, career, as an answer so that it will fill the gap. Okay? Now, what is the common attitude of this person? Yan yung mga controlling, dominating, magagalitin, impatient. Okay? I'm just giving you a preview about Jezebels. Now, if they meet God, then they will realize the ones that I have tried to fill in the gaps, sex, drugs, alcohol, wrong relationships, career, money, etc., is not the answer. That's why even if they already have those, they're still the same. But this, when he realizes that the answer to the gap is Jesus, that's when they become really healed and whole again. And this person is wise enough to realize dahil sa aircon na lang siya. Aircon na lang. Aircon na lang. Sa car, aircon. Okay. So this is the time this person can function the way God designed him. But if this person, despite knowing Jesus already, is too prideful to say, I have to surrender all those things, my insecurity, the pride, etc., then there's no healing. There should be a surrendering, there should be an admittance. Okay? So, I feel so blessed for Moses that even if he went through all that, there was a special time that he and his birth mother had bonding. Not only birth mother, the whole family. Okay? And here's the thing. For sure, those times that the family was with Moses, they gave moral values. They believed in God. Right? In fact, the parents of Moses trusted God. The life of Moses. So I'm pretty sure that's what they're teaching Moses the time he was being raised in his real family. Okay? So what a blessing. Okay? Now, let's go to... Wait, huwag kayo nilipat. Diyan lang. I also saw this part. Do you remember, sabi, the child grew and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter and he became her son. Okay? It only said that the child grew. Tapos pinalik siya sa princess. There was no specific age. Right? How old Moses was given. But if you think about it, kami mga nursing mothers, this is natural, so I share. Kenny, I breastfed 3.5 years. The others, alam ko sila, Karin, kami nila, we still do. Despite 1 year na yung mga babies namin. Okay, so if you think about it, yun talagang the time that a child is solely eating solid. Lampas 1 year yan. Minimum, lampas 1 year. Okay? But it doesn't say, I'm just giving you a idea. At this age, a child who is completely nursed by his birth mother moves from breast milk to solid. So, most likely, baka naglalakad na si Moses. Maybe. Okay? Moses then, when he was given to the princess, wow, he received so many benefits now being an Egyptian child. Riches, education, no threat to his life. But I do not recall reading if he was even taught about God. I doubt it because they were Egyptians. Okay? But then, may dadagdag lang ako. I read Exodus 2 to 10. If you go to 11, verse 11, sabi doon, Moses, ano na siya? Binata na. Moses looks at the Hebrews as his people, his brethren, if you read the Bible. So I was thinking, the time he was raised by the birth mom, he was taught, this is your people, the Hebrews. And ano sabi sa Bible? Train up a child the way he should go, and he shall not depart from it. He was trained up. No matter how little the amount of time, he was trained up the way he should go. So, paglaki niya, he did not look at the Hebrews as slaves. He looked at them as the brethren, as his people. Praise God. Okay? Okay. Another thing, sa portion ng the child grew, the birth mother brought Moses to the princess. Ini-imagine ko to, tayo mga nanay. It must have been so sorrowful to give up your own flesh and blood. But look at this, because these are Hebrews we're talking about. They have a God. So she has entrusted the child by sacrificing her own happiness just so that this child would live. So then, after seeing this, I remembered yung story ni Solomon. Di ba he was so wise? Tapos there were 2 prostitutes na nanganak sabay. Tapos the other child died. And the one mother na nawala ng baby, inaangkin niya yung isa. So they went to Solomon. Look at the reaction of the real mother. When Solomon said, cut that baby, tag-isa sila. The real mother will really sacrifice, even if that child that will not be with me, give. Just give for as long as the baby will live. See, that is true love, not selfish love. Diba? Hindi lang, para lang masabi na nasa iyo. So they didn't mind. And also, the part nung binasa ko, so he called his name Moses. So she called. Princess gave the baby a name, Moses. And there's a reason, because I threw him out of the water. Now, the name Moses, if you're going to get the Hebrew meaning, it means drawn from water. But this also means son or anak in Egyptian. So the princess might have used the 2 meanings. That's why she gave the name Moses. She doesn't have a son or a child. Plus, it was drawn from the water, so Moses. Okay? Now, let's go. We're towards the end of the message. Next point. These are women in this story. Diba? At first, nakita natin si Shipra and Puah. Although it wasn't in the scripture, shinare ko sa inyo na in Exodus 1, these are the Hebrew midwives. Midwives only. Midwives only. No other special purpose. Okay? But they feared God, so they did not kill the Hebrew boy babies. Another woman in the life of Moses. There is Jochebed. She's the mom. And she saved her son from being killed. She planned it. Now, there's the sister of Moses, si Miriam, di ba? And she made sure her baby brother was safe, going to the hands of the princess. And she was even responsible. This is nice. Not only that he safely was brought to the hands of the princess, she was responsible that the birth mother, her own mother, is taking care of their child with wages. Lord, I want that, taking care of my own children and I have sweldo. My goodness! Di ba ang mga mami, we don't get paid, but we are so exhausted. We're not blaming them because they really need you. But praise God, my goodness, look at that. You are being paid to take care of your own child. You have that peace that he is not going to be killed. Because when an Egyptian will ask me, oh, I'm taking care of that baby for the princess. Diba? But I am enjoying the luxury of being with my own son. Being paid. I think it's 2 silver per day. Okay? I don't know how big that is. I don't know. Big? See that? And an apartment to rent. See? She said that it's good enough to feed your family the whole day and pay the rent for that day. Oh, diba? Wow! Okay. Now, look at this. Next, please. These women, yung first 3, if you notice something, they did have special position, no special authority, no special power. But look, God still used them to save the person who will save the Israelites from slavery. We cannot choose who God wants to use. And we cannot say that it can only be the rich, it can only be the wise. God will decide. And look, and how, praise the Lord, women can be used by God. And of course, we still apply this today. Okay? Next po. Women are used by God as well to fulfill His plans for mankind. We might think it was only Joshua planning all this to save Moses. But we saw in Acts 7:20 that to the eyes or to the sight of God, Moses is a beautiful child. Moses is in time for something. It was God who orchestrated that plan. I praise the Lord. And next, so why were they used despite that they didn't have power, they didn't have authority? Here's the answer. Next po. God is sovereign. His will shall be done. If He wants it, I will do it. And when you read the Bible, it's unerring. What does that mean? There's no mistake. You can't say, Lord, you made a mistake. These are just what? Midwives? Just plain mommy? Just a sister? No, the Bible is unerring. Cannot make a mistake. So God did this for a good purpose. And also, next, and because they had what it takes to be used by God. I praise God. Many of us, I hear, although I don't hear physically, a lot of mommies saying, I'm useless. I'm only at home. That's all I do. I just wash the dishes, wash my baby's butt, I cook, that's all I do. And my husband is doing a very purposeful thing. He has a job, my kids study, while I have nothing to do. No. Rearing a child alone is part of God's major plan to raise up royal seed. And we are responsible mothers for that royal seed to be brought up. You know, every time I'm so tired because Zoe's nang kukulit and all, I always say the following lines. I don't know which one is of no particular priority. It's not permanent. She will grow. She'll learn to walk. She will learn to eat. She will learn to do things on her own. But right now, she needs me. Number 2, when you're really tired, I'm doing a good job. I am raising my daughter myself. You know, I tell you something. I have 3 children, right? And when they were young, I always hear people, why don't you work? Why don't you help your husband? It's true. Life nowadays is difficult. But you know what? They don't understand. Many of them don't understand me. I want to be the one to raise that kid. He's mine. God gave him to me. I want to be the one to raise him. You know what? To be able to raise your own children, it's already difficult. Because despite that you're the one raising them, they still get other inputs from other factors. How much more if somebody else will take care of them? It's very hard. So I praise God. Okay? Now look at this. Those women I mentioned, they have what it takes to be used by God. They don't have to be perfect. Did you see the video? Wow, oh, wow, that's a different kind of mom. But you know what? Mommies have different traits needed to fulfill the plans of God for every family. Shipra and Puah, they had what it takes, fear of the Lord. Jochebed, trust. She trusted God. Sister Moses, she was quick and intelligent, and she was an obedient daughter. Now, let me add the princess. Okay? Although she was not a daughter of God, look at this. Remember Pastor said, who's the president? Duterte. He's not a child of God. But, he is being used. Walang basagan ng trip. God said, I'll use Duterte to fulfill my plans for the Philippines. The same here. The princess is not a Christian. She is not a believer of God. But God used her. Praise God. Okay? And so, you know what? I want to share something, and this is from my heart. I found out the reason why I had a hard time with this yesterday. I was so convicted because the last one, I was led to share, to give and encourage the moms. Actually, everybody, especially the moms. that we should have these characteristic traits to be called a godly woman. And I had a hard time putting this, finalizing this. Because as the times went on, I saw myself being not like God. And I want to start by humbling myself before the Lord. And what I'm going to share next is what I'm also chasing now. It's very difficult because there's shame to be this way towards the Father. And so, I'd like to encourage you and myself in the Lord right now that for us to be called godly women, let's chase these 5 characteristics. And 1, that we seek God first. Let's reject the lies that anything or anyone else can satisfy you. Many people, we chase things, we chase people, we chase money, we chase career, so that we will be satisfied, so that we will know our identity. Let us be reminded, it is God first. When He said, seek first the kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you, so do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will care for itself, each day enough trouble of its own. He didn't put that for no good reason. And I just keep on recalling, Lord, all these things shall be added unto you. Means everything that you lack, everything that you're looking for, all the answers to your questions, this is the answer. Seek God first. And number 2, speak faithfully. By loving others with godly wisdom, boldness and kindness as a faithful completer of others. Many of us, we have a tendency to love them the way we think they should be loved. And the Lord is reminding me, the Lord is reminding us, let's love them according to how He is telling us how to do it. Boldly, with wisdom. Okay? Next po, show true beauty. It's not a sin to dress up. It's not a sin to have ribbon. It's not a sin to wear earrings. But what God is saying, bodies deteriorate. Persons develop. Invest in what lasts. Okay? Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Number 4, stay humble. Chery, stay humble. Be constantly aware of pride and selfishness. The devil has been lying to me. When I first walked with the Lord, I knew I was holy. And I knew I had no pride. You know what? One lie, I listened to Satan. He kept telling me, you are humble. But little did I know, I have been developing pride and selfishness. And it hindered me to grow. So, this I'm telling Satan now. Not all good things is true. Satan may say, give you good things, or say good things about you. But you have to check from the Lord if it's true. Because the devil is cunning. But I praise God, because He spoke to me yesterday about all these things. And He has encouraged me to come before Him and to surrender once again, go back to your basics. So, there it is. Don't think, but this is important po, don't think less of yourself, but think of yourself less. That's why I have been praying, Lord, less of me, more of you. Remove me. Just put you. Shut me up. Just you speak. Has not my hands made all these things, and so they came into being, declares the Lord? These are the ones I look on with favor, those who are humble and contrite in spirit, and who tremble at my word. Isaiah 66. One more. Serve the Lord. Set your mind on eternal things. Serve the eternal King, and live to please only Him. He who loves his life loses it, and he who hates his life in this world will keep it to life eternal. If anyone serves me, he must follow me. Where I am, there my servant will be also. If anyone serves me, the Father will honor him. Let this be an encouragement to all the mothers. And actually, even if you're not a mother, that we need to be in a position, in a character that is godly. Because that is the only way that we're going to please our Creator. And that is the only way that we are going to meet Him in the last day. If we not only portray outside character that is godly, but also inside, it's easy to pretend. And also what it says, to obey everything that He says. We cannot be arrogant. We cannot say, I read the Bible every day. But then, when we go back to our homes, we go back to our jobs, when you face an unbeliever, we cannot go back to our old self. We cannot go insulting people, criticizing people. We cannot go do judging people. We cannot pick instructions or commands that is pleasing only to what you want. Let's do everything God says. And let's be drawn to His Word. Because this is the only way for us to know what to do in our daily lives. I praise God for the life that He gives us mothers. The very first scripture posted this morning was about trials, testings, but what does God say? Take up your cross. No one in the Bible said that there's no hardship, that there's no trouble, that there's no pain. But the assurance that we have from reading His Word is, He is with us. If we receive Jesus, His power in our lives will reign. Praise the Lord.